See, recently I was listening to a conversation between a journalist and Nandan Nilekani, an interview. And in that, I was surprised to note that Nandan was looking at, I would say, the actions of Malaya with regard to its running its Kingfisher and running out of India, running, supposed to be have cheated its government and the banks of money, etc., siphoning them off, etc., and backing him. Now, I do not know how far, it can hold water, but in a way, I think Mr. Nilekani has, taken it in the right spirit and for the right step forward. See, anything new, let's listen to, I hope somebody listens to Rory Sutherland. He is the person who was the president of the Ogilvy Advertising Agency, a worldwide agency, very successful agency. Now, he has explained so many things, and one of his earliest talks, which I listened to, which I found fascinating, was how newer thoughts are not accepted by people until it is packaged differently. He gave an example. And one example which he gave was that there was a huge meeting. There was a lot of hullabaloo. A lot of, wines were bought about, and they were all kept at different places. And they were kept in, big bottles and large bottles and dressed beautifully, and covered with glass, and lot of show was given, and lot of experts were brought in. The wine experts were brought in. They smelt it, they looked at it, they sold it in the cups. Everything was done finally, and everybody said, this is an expensive wine. I'm sure it will sell very well in the world. There were a number of wines, and each one the experts were giving its opinion. Finally, it all turned out to be a $6 wine bought from the corner shop. Because the marketing is what that matters. How you push it across, that what that matters. Now, Malaya had a thinking like that. What his idea was, well, suppose we give a classy flight for people who are interested in luxury at a medium cost. Well, in airline industry, you can't expect that to succeed and survive. But look at the imagination of Vijay Mallya. Nobody has thought about it. Now, today everybody is talking about premium economy, this economy, that business economy, all type of business classes you're looking at, first class, second class, business class, that class. In trains you're looking at executive class, regular class, all types of classes. But the imagination of Vijay Mallya, look at it from that angle. He had a view that if India is to go the way China is growing, we must have a different vision. And that vision should be that we give classy things at regular prices. That classy thing at regular prices was the concept of Kingfisher Airlines. Luxury at reasonable prices. Yes, I have traveled by Kingfisher. It used to be my favorite airline. It's a wonderful, flight. The experience was wonderful. The treatment was wonderful. Everything was classy about it. He lost out because he started, somewhere he went berserk, and somewhere he started, he couldn't fund his organization, started siphoning out money to meet the expenses everywhere else. And therefore he was, thrown out of the country. He had to run away from the country, and we had huge debts accumulated. But that is the problem in India. I'm not backing Malaya with regard to the fact that he suppose have stolen money. I would say, okay, he stole money from the banks, funded it. What I would say is he funneled banking money into his business empires. All that I agree, all that has happened, the truth is there. But let us view it from a different angle. This is a special case where you are looking at a concept. Could the concept survive? Now, that is where it could have survived in an, place like the Western nations where people will look at, luxury and the cost, blend it and accept it. It may have succeeded. But India is a market where we'll buy a plane and ask what is the mileage it will give for a liter of petrol. That is what Indian thinking is, which Malaya could not conceive about. So, what I'm trying to come to the point is that the people of India need to go out of their systematic thinking of 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, 2 plus 2 is equal to. Look at whether 1 plus 1 can be equal to 4. That is, psychology. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 is mathematics. But 1 plus 1 is equal to 4 is psychology. Is how you sell the idea, how you put it forward. And that requires a new concept of thinking. What is that concept of thinking? A different way of perceiving things. If you look at the, 7 hats, that is what I would say, written by, I don't recall the particular person, but everywhere he is looking at, a black hat thinker is a person who always thinks negatively. But a purple hat thinker may look at everything beautifully. So every type of hat, he tries to wear hats and explain that new thinking is very important. If Vajpayee had not thought about a new thinking of the national highways, today India would not have the infrastructure. India would not have the 37,000 miles of roads built wonderfully. People are able to travel all over India non-stop at good speeds. They are having better cars. They are having better motorcycles. People are traveling all the way by bike from Bengaluru to Ladakh. All this would not have happened if not for the new visionary thinking of Atal Bihari Vajpayee for setting up the National Highway Authority of India. In a similar manner, if Mahindra and Mahindra, today they are producing cars which are challenging the world market, I told you last time itself, because there is a new thinking. But for all this, you require funding. I think that somewhere our leaders, our economists, our bankers, all these people should come together to understand how we can assist in these new thinking, new conceived ideas, how we can put them to operation if they are operable. I'm not saying inoperable things should be pushed, but operable things as a possibility. Today, IIT Madras is finding out a way to travel. I told you last time, to travel to Calcutta within 4 hours or 2 hours by 40 minutes by a hover plane. So this imaginative concept, just like the hyperloop of Elon Musk, now we are trying to put it into operation because people are willing to back that concept. In some, just like this, now the IITs are, is trying to develop that particular project of going from here to Calcutta within 40 minutes using a hovercraft or something like that. I don't know the exact concept, but there is a thought process of it and it is now being operable. People are willing to invest in that concept. So what I would say that is, the person who spearheaded this concept of thinking was Vijay Mallya. We should give credit to him. Well, he stole money. He took, he did all that siphoning of money. All that is irregular. It is not acceptable for the world market. But we must give him credit to the extent that he thought differently. But if we have had the money, if we have had the expertise, if we have had the capabilities, I'm sure Kingfisher would have been a success. And today, Vijay Mallya could have been a great operator in the market. Well, bad luck. Things changed and he had to run away from India. And India, we have to accept responsibility that and he has to repay the loans. All that we accept. But new concepts and ideas need to be there. Otherwise, in conclusion, I would say Aadhaar would not have come into being. A new concept was thought about and was implemented because of the forcefulness of our current leaders. In the same manner, there are a lot of opportunities, a lot of newer thinkings, but we might lose money on that. Let us not tear the person who has taken that money into pieces and say he has siphoned off the money. There might have been, a weakness, there might be some leaks which can always put into correction with AI technology and with more stricter operations, stricter supervision. There are a lot of opportunities for Indians to continue. Thank you.